The 2027 recruiting rankings are out, at least where they are right now. Bama's dead last. Is there any concern on your part? Is this calculated? And can we win with a recruiting class that comes in the 50s or 60s? Or do we have some more tricks up our sleeve? We're going to talk about that. Who would Nick Saban pick as quarterback in this year's battle? Mike Johnson and I talked about that on our show yesterday. We're going to let Jake Coker jump in on that conversation and more. Maybe even a recap of the Steve Azar Delta Soul Golf Tournament that we had. And you guys saw a lot of the interviews that we had there with some of our friends. So like, subscribe, thumbs up. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Great time to get out to the course, Dancing Rabbit. Put the kids at Geyser Falls, the water park. You do the golf. Take the family to Philip M. Steakhouse. You got slots. You got table games. You got the Timeout Sports Lounge. You got acts and concerts and all that stuff going on. And it's not far at all from Tuscaloosa, hour and a half, 2 and change from Birmingham. So check it out. That's Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. Let's get this show started. All right, roll tide, everybody. Some of you guys aren't roll tiding, but we are. Good to see you, Jake. Have you recovered from the Delta Soul Golf Tournament? It took me 3 days, and I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran of those type of experiences.
Yeah, I'm still not there. Still not there.
So
I'm a veteran too. I'm a veteran too, but I've lost a few steps.
Ain't as good as I once was. Guys, if you guys saw some of our shows,
you caught me on the Bama tailgate show, sitting down, not realizing I was on a hot mic.
Yeah, hey, you rolled with it. But on this show, on our shows here, if I didn't have you on there helping me, normally I can drive the conversation. I mean, I'm a veteran of this as well, but I was just so toasted from the weekend of golf and all the different parties and stuff. And I was so glad that you were able to carry those conversations, because I was just like,
I was so thankful. I could get that first one we did with Steve Azar and Gary Valentine. All I could think was, man, I hope Steve talks as much as he usually does.
He was like the host. It was like his show.
I was like, I need a Bloody Mary, and I just need to watch y'all talk.
Yeah. Do you like Steve's Bloody Marys?
I love Steve's Bloody Marys.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. What are you trying to set? Are you setting me up or something?
The best part of the whole thing was when you were talking to you and me were, you know what I'm gonna say. You and me were talking to Al Borland, or the character Al Borland. Right?
Hang on. You got to preface this with I told Mick in confidence, told you in confidence that, last year after meeting Al, he's like, he walks up, you stole our fucking coach, and I was like, man, you just sold yourself about 3 pocket hoses. Because I love that.
Richard Carnes is Rega's real name. Great guy, man. He's got such a good sense of humor.
Oh yeah, but I tell you in confidence that the valve broke, and I was pissed about it because I got to use pliers to open it and close it. And I wasn't going to say that to him, especially live. Leave it to old Mickey G to just break the ice.
He told this great story. He's like, hey, when they first came out, the water pressure wasn't, they weren't able to handle the house water pressure. They had to change the patent. I'll be honest, guys, I've heard that they're actually really good.
I've got them. I love them.
Yeah, you love yours. But you guys can go back and watch the show. He goes back and starts talking about it. And then I'm just like, hey, Jake, isn't there something that you want to tell Richard? Oh, my God.
I can't tell you anything.
the look on your face was great. The look on his face was great. God, he handled it so well, man. It
Oh,
was
he
so
did.
funny.
I mean,
Then
it was like customer service.
we turned our focus from that to Greenville, Mississippi, and all three of us just pounded Greenville. Hey, before we talk football, I do
honestly, that's the best part of the tournament because Greenville is. I mean, it's Greenville, Mississippi. It's not like you're going to Destin or somewhere. Yeah. I mean, you're going to hang out with a great group of people, and that's the award.
Now, look, and that is like the fact that the water's brown, the fact that it is in the middle of nowhere, like you can't just get in and get out of there, like. It does have a charm that way. Like it's, you love it, but you're still going to make fun of it. Right. But we're going to go back next year too. Right. Like, cause we're in now. So,
well, but it's the great part is like everybody goes there and has a blast. There's nobody in that group that starts anything there's no drama at that tournament. You just have fun. Everybody gets it. We're all having fun. And, I mean, I never expected to get up on stage with Steve Azar and sing
awesome.
Sweet Caroline.
Hey, before I tell you guys about Patriot and we talk football, Jake and I, by the end of the concert that they have on Friday, are up at the front of the stage. We've made our way up there. We're having a great time. Next thing I know, I see Steve and he's like, "Hey, Mick and Jake, come on up." we're like looking at each other like, not a good idea. And then like, all right, we'll do it. So and that was
I was fired up at the time too. I mean, Gary Valentine's trying to sing Sweet Caroline and I'm just shaking him.
Let me see if I got a picture on here. I'll just show you guys. Here we are. You see that? I know it's not like as good as it could be, but we go just on the cuff here. All right, guys. Look, before we talk football, we had a great time. Thank you, Steve Azar. Thank you guys for watching our shows. And if you didn't, go back and watch. We talked to Reggie Smith, one of the all-time greats, Dodgers World Series champion in baseball. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but he's really close. Like he's one of an elite level player. Dude batted, like 280 in his career and was for a long time a very good player. We got him.
He was very impressive.
Yeah. Richard Karn, who was Al Borland, and then Gary Valentine, who was in a bunch of stuff like King of Queens, and then Steve Azar, had this song "Meet Till Monday." You guys see him in the commercials all the time. Patriot Roofing, there our guys are 205-919-4494. Check those guys out if you are in the market right now to get your roof replaced, or you just want to see if you need it replaced. They do free inspections. When you call, our guys Will and Justin answer the phone. And with all of these storms that keep on rolling through, you got to make sure that your roof is fortified. You want to make sure that your house looks good. They do it all, but it's not just roofing. They're total home builders, and they have a license to do any home solution. That's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and full home renovations. That is our friends at Patriot, 205-919-4494. And you can see them there working hard to get the job done, man. Some big houses. It's like Coker's house there. Big mansions and but they'll do any size houses. Guys like me that have like just a modest home or palatial estates like the Coker Landing.
You're an idiot.
Oh my goodness. All right, well let's talk. Let's get into this because there's some people that are like, I just tune in for the football talk. I don't care about your guys in your golf tournament. And you're right. We do need to talk football. People are pretty concerned right now. The 2027 football recruiting rankings came out, and right now Alabama is dead last in the SEC. And I'm going to put this on here. I used to work with On3. I think they're the best in the business. and I want you guys to check it out with me. So let me put them on screen here. It's not it, but because I just want you to get a feel of what it's like to try to find Alabama in the recruiting thing. So they're on three's rivals again. They bought them out. All right, here we go. Texas A&M's 1. Okay, there's the top 10. No Alabama. Auburn's 12. Georgia's 13. All right, we're through the top 20. No Alabama. There's Ole Miss at 22. Tennessee's at 28. Indiana 31. Still no Alabama. We're to 40. Arkansas 42. South Carolina 43. Mississippi State 50. Still no Alabama. Maryland in there. What's that like for football? 54. There's Alabama. Their class is 58 right now. They got 8 recruits. They've got Elijah Haven, highly sought after quarterback, maybe number 1 in the position, according to them. So that's good. A couple 4 stars, couple 3 stars. They lost a guy to Tennessee, decommitted the other day. But initial thoughts on Alabama and recruiting class at number 58. Where did your guys' recruiting class come in?
Yeah.
Were you guys like number 1? I mean, when you came to Alabama?
At Florida State we were. When I was at Alabama, I don't remember.
I think you were number 1 or 2 or 3, but it never really got outside of that. So
again, I was about to say it had to have been right.
I think
there.
you were number 1 though. I'll look it up while you're talking.
This is one of those things where I'd have to get a better understanding of what that list actually means. Is that all high school recruits? Does that account for some commits? Because there's no recruiting window now until the end of the season, so I'm guessing that's all high school, right? I mean, you're not going to know until the recruiting portal closes and you got National Signing Day, in February next year?
Yeah. Well,
I know they've got an early signing.
No, it's December. It's December now. Well, really December.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's my thought, and from what I've heard.
Hold on. You transferred what year? 2014.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You were number 1.
Got there, and let's see. Yeah, got there.
National rank, like you were with like Deshaun Hand and Cam Robinson and Marlon Humphrey and Tony Brown and Bo Scarborough and all those guys. Yeah. Number 1.
Okay.
Just to throw it out.
No, but I'd have to do more. Again, I'd have to dig a little deeper into that. The things that I hear from everyone I know at Alabama is that they're really, again, you never know. What goes on between recruits and coaches, and I'm sure a lot of schools say this. I'm sure there's some gray area there. But I've heard some specific stories about players who have gone to other schools and how not NCAA definition tampering, but some tampering and weird scenarios have come up with these agents, non-certified, just individuals setting up deals between schools and players, and how it's played out between Alabama and them and losing some of these guys. It's kind of mind-blowing. And it's really, to me, shed light on that's why I'm anti these just random people getting in there and brokering deals between players and schools, because I don't think that they get, here what happens is some of these brokers, I think they make more money from certain schools, and so they push these kids a certain way, and a lot of these kids don't even know who these players or brokers are, and
right.
It's just gotten out of hand from that standpoint. And so a lot of these schools, I feel like, that don't win some of these battles is that guy in the middle is he's working the deal to his benefit and not the kid's benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also think that a lot of these schools are making promises that they're not going to be able to keep. I think you're going to see a lot of these guys enter the transfer portal right off the bat, especially these high school kids, because I think they're shaking hands on verbal deals, and some of these schools don't know if the money's there or not, which is the pay for play. That's the issue here with pay for play. And from what I hear, Alabama's just not playing that game. Either they got the money or they don't, and they're pretty transparent and open about it. I mean, is that true? I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. From the people I hear it from, I very trustworthy people, and I think that is the true case. I think Alabama's leaning on guys that want to come to Alabama, be around that atmosphere. I think greatest atmosphere in the country when it comes to college football, and I also think they're leaning on the transfer portal far more than high school, because I think you've got a proven product through the transfer portal. You've seen guys play for a couple years. You know what their worth is based on the structure of deals that are taking place right now with college kids. High school kids, I think you're crazy to pay high school kids a ton of money before they even step foot on a college campus. And I know it's happening. I think there's a few high school kids that you can probably make that determination on, but the vast majority, to me, you could make that determination back in the day, but now you've got an 18-year-old that you're talking about paying $1, $2, $4 million. Makes no sense to me. So if it's me, if I'm looking at the finances of the whole situation, I'm not taking many high school kids unless they absolutely want to come to Alabama, and they've got a mindset in which, hey, I want to get to Alabama, and the product I put on the field is going to bring me NIL money. And that's just that's the approach that I would take. Because again, you can't get in a bidding war on high school kids. You just can't. If it's all about money to a high school kid, then Alabama's not in the place, in my opinion, to just be delving money out to kids who may be gone in a year.
Right. Well, it's first off, let me say this. Kalen DeBoer made it clear during the SEC spring meetings that Alabama was going to make an adjustment to the way that they bring in talent, and that this recruiting class was going to have 15 to 20 players, and that instead of having these massive hauls, that they were going to have selective additions. He outlined that, and that they were expecting to kind of dip a little bit and then, change the way that they approach modern roster management. Now, I think eventually they'll be back in the top 20 this year, but this isn't what Nick Saban dealt with, right? Because the transfer portal is a better place to fill a lot of your needs, because as a recruiting guy, right, like you want the mix, you want the really, really good high school guys, but you can go out there and buy players that you've seen at a college level compete. You'll have a much better idea what they bring to the table. I'm going to use you as an example. You go to Florida State, you played in high school. They didn't know when they had a feeling that you could be a good college player. They took a risk, but when Alabama got you, the risk wasn't as big. They knew you could play because you already did it. You were already back up. They already saw you. They saw how you grew, right? They saw how you developed, and your physical appearance was different, right?
Well, it comes back to that whole situation, because I didn't start at Florida State, but that situation, it comes down to how you carry yourself in the locker room, how you prepare, all that. Because at the end of the day, you had Sal Sinceri, you had Jeremy Pruitt, you had Charles Kelly, you had all these guys who had all these interminglings with Coach Saban at the end of the day. And Coach Saban, you'd be crazy to think that Coach Saban wasn't talking to all those guys, figuring out if I was a fit at Alabama or not.
Right. And that's why I don't disagree with this approach. College, high school recruiting, and the world that we used to live in. And look, I spent time at Rivals, and I spent time at On3. They have to change their game because what they cover isn't that significant anymore. And I think On3's done a good job of that. Basically, hey, high school recruiting, but it's also the transfer portal. That's a big deal. It's NIL. That's a big deal. I'm just saying from like a, hey, I want you to come look at my site aspect, not a, bringing players in. Hey, we're going to cover the team stuff more, and we used to just do recruiting, man. You'd get Andrew Bone on, the best in the business, and Bone would just sit there and rattle off all the guys that Alabama was going after, and what place they were from. Like, it doesn't matter as much anymore because the mid-level guys are like, you get a guy from high school, right, Jake? They're not going to play at first. They learn the system, and then you hope by the third year they're playing. Well, these guys are transferring the second year out. You're losing that whole second year of guys. So I think what DeBoer's doing is like, he's just going to take those second level guys from somewhere else, know what we got, and not waste money on developing somebody else's players. That's kind of what I think they're doing. And it might not be a bad strategy. I think Indiana just won a national championship doing that.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing we look out for now is, and I think all fan bases, I mean, you're more excited about now don't get me wrong. I think Alabama fans are excited about guys that come from Alabama and high school recruiting. Because I mean, I think everybody in Alabama loves a local guy. I mean, I know I love seeing guys that sign with Alabama that are from Alabama. I love seeing those guys play. Always, have a special fandom for those guys. Want to see them do well. But now, hell, when you and I talk about recruiting or the new roster, it's when we sign a guy, it's like, all right, what colleges they come from and how they look. It's not no longer, high school kids. We see some of their film, but it's kind of hard to even gauge how good they are because you don't know what kind of competition they're playing. I mean, Sedarian Morgan. Now, don't get me wrong. I see Sedarian Morgan's highlights from high school, and the guy's like 6'4", 225. It's like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter who he's playing. That dude's an animal, and you watch him move and catch. There are some guys that are just outside the mold that are going to be studs as long as they've got it upstairs.
Yeah. Well, look, that's that, and I think that this is just an adjustment, and this is Kalen DeBoer's program, and he and his gang think that this is the best way that Alabama can spend their resources.
And we don't want to be a double-A team that's just, once we get somebody that's, we develop them, we get them ready to play, they're ready to finally make a splash, and then Ohio State's got them.
Yeah, that's the BS that we're sick of. Like, if it takes doing this to retain the best players on your roster and go take the best players off of other rosters, then do that. But with the way that things have been going, not a fan of it. Not a fan of losing our best players, or not our best players, but some of our guys to the Texas schools and Ohio State. And those schools are spending, I think that, $8 to $10 to $12 million more is significantly more than Alabama. And I heard people tell me that LSU may be spending more than all of them. I don't know, but spending is going to correlate into winning. Sorry to tell you that, but the more roster depth that you have and the better players that you have, the more chance of success that you have. And that's every single sport. But guys, let me tell you this. I want to give a shout out to Keith and the gang at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. You know about these guys there. Back Coastal Style Hotel of the Year. And they're doing it again. Hit that QR code and vote for Keith and the gang. What a beautiful pool there. Right there in Ocean City, Maryland. I'm ready to go there. I need a vacation. OC, go get me some crabs, steamed crabs, some of the boardwalk action, Secrets Bar. I would love to be going up there actually right now. You guys can do that. Check them out. Tell Keith you said hi. Look at the sunset. Just absolutely beautiful. And they want you guys to make sure you get their back and help them continue their legacy of dominance as the Coastal Style Hotel of the year. So do that up there in Maryland. I need a vacation so bad. I don't consider that golf tournament a vacation. It was fun, but it wasn't a vacation. You know what I mean?
I was driving home feeling like I had been in a motorcycle crash.
Yeah, right. It was fun though. All right, last thing I want to get into on the show today, and I've just like people appreciate all the content we've thrown your way this week. Mike Johnson and I on the Bama Tailgate Show, which is my channel, had a show, and they threw it out there: Keelon Russell versus Austin Mack. Mack, let me set it up again. Been with this group, Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, since they recruited him out of high school, and he went to Washington. Transferred to Alabama. You lost Julian Sayin because when Mack came, Sayin left. So you lost the starting quarterback at Ohio State now was with us. This guy has been the backup. He's done everything right. He's a hard worker. He's a leader. Okay, he didn't look great in the 8A game, but they say he was hurt. Then you got, that's in one corner. Ding, ding. In the other corner, young, upcoming, superstar talent, highest recruited player in the history of Alabama, according to On3, 5-star guy, and his name is Keelon Russell. He can do it all. Dual threat machine. Winner. These guys are going head-to-head for the starting quarterback job. Mike and I felt like if Coach Saban was there, this would be Mack's job. There wouldn't even be they might act like it was a quarterback battle. He's going with the guy with experience. He doesn't want to have a freshman in there or a guy hadn't had a lot of experience making mistakes. And we think that he would make Russell wait his turn. What do you say?
I mean, I think that might have been the case back when Mike was playing, back in the leather helmet days. But,
I'm playing in that clip. I'm going to let him get you.
I love you, Mike.
There you go, Tim.
No, I felt, that was a more traditional time, I feel like. I don't know. I think once, when I think when Coach Saban had those years where there wasn't an established starter, the quarterback battle kind of went on and on and on until, somebody established themselves to where it was obvious within the media, the coaching staff, the team, everybody around. I think I think if Mack does a good job, and has a great season and I guess takes this team to the playoff, does all the right things, it's going to be hard to unseat him. And the only time again, he takes Jalen out. He takes, same thing that happened to Jalen happened to Blake Barnett. He replaces Blake with Jalen right off the bat. And then, Jalen has a good season. And then that national championship, obviously Tua goes in and Tua's got it until he's done at Alabama. I think once 2014 rolled around with me and Blake, I feel like there was a different kind of mindset there, and the quarterback position was far more up for grabs than it was, from 2007 with John Parker to AJ in 2013. I do agree, and I am joking around obviously about that being way long ago, but I do think it was a more traditional time.
Right. Well, it was a different setup. And that's what I said to Mike. And I'll say this to you. When Mike played and Coach Saban was coaching at Alabama, the biggest thing he wanted from a quarterback was someone that wasn't going to screw the game up, wasn't going to make mistakes, right? Like, he relied on his defense, field position. His teams were disciplined up until the last few years. They were still good teams, but they weren't as disciplined as your team and what Mike's team did in 2009, even with less talent. I mean, when you compare it to the machine that you guys had in 2015 and then thereafter. But we were talking about Star Jackson versus Greg McElroy. Star probably had more talent, but McElroy put the time in, and he honestly did a great job that season. And there were 4 games where he didn't even throw a touchdown, but when the biggest games came and they needed him to, he did, right? The game he had against Florida is one of the greatest games I think a quarterback could have against one of the best teams Alabama ever beat. But he didn't have to do that game in and day out. I think the difference is that this team isn't that good. They're not that dominant. So the quarterback has to do more. And so that's why maybe Keelon Russell gets the job, right?
Yeah, I mean, see, again, to me back then, especially prior to transfers and all that, I mean, the real quarterback battle to me was always, you had a year or two of the second and third guy competing against each other, while the first string guy, he had it made. I mean, again, John Parker, Greg. I mean, I didn't feel like Greg ever competed with Star Jackson. I always felt like it was AJ versus Star, and then AJ versus what's his name, Philip. I can't remember his last name. Philip Sims.
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah. I always felt like it was, when it was John Parker's turn, it was his turn. When it was Greg's turn, it was his turn. But you had AJ battling Philip Sims and Star Jackson.
I don't think we were talking about this. Mike was on the team with John Parker. I don't think John Parker had anybody that was really pushing him.
No, I don't think so either.
Was it Jimmy Johns maybe, and then he became a running back? I just that one, there wasn't really a quarterback battle. You went through a quarterback battle twice where you came in and it was like, hey, you had to really. They didn't. I don't think they knew. Right.
Between Coach Saban and Lane, I mean, I felt like it was just wide open. I mean, you never knew. I mean, one day you're on the ones field, the next day you're on the threes field. You don't know what's going on. It was, kind of crazy.
You took the bull by the horn in 2015. We know that. We talked about that a lot. What do these guys have to do that? You won the locker room over. I know a lot of your teammates. And it's clear they love you. You won them over. How do these guys separate themselves? And I feel like Austin Mack, at the beginning of this, and I saw the 8A game. I know the recruiting stuff. I felt like, you don't want Russell to transfer. And I thought, well, it's just Russell's job. Plus the other thing, and Mike mentioned this too, that I wasn't even thinking about, is Bama's lack of run game puts Russell in the spot too, where you probably want him just because he can help you in the run game. Kind of like Jalen Milroe did. But then I think about saw they gave the walk-on quarterback a scholarship. The stuff that Max said was leader stuff. Hey, this guy's in the film room with us every day. He earned this. He knows he's here early. He knows the playbook better than other guys. Just felt like, I've been here and done that. I'm not just going to let this guy take the job. I don't know. I mean, it could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, to me, I think we all think Keelon Russell's probably going to be the guy
at some point, right?
But at the end of the day, I think Ryan Grubb is going with the guy that he feels like can communicate what his job is the best. And speaking to Ryan Grubb, he's big on really confronting his quarterbacks in a way that they have to tell him exactly what they think and the process of operation each play. And whoever does that the best is going to start. And when I say we think Keelon Russell is going to be the starter, I think it may ultimately be that way. And it all depends on offensive line play. I mean, I think that, Austin's been there so much longer than Keelon.
Right.
He should know the system far better. He's been with these guys since the beginning of his college career. So again, I think Ryan Grubb is going to feel most comfortable with Austin. Having said that, when things are tough, which I think at the beginning of the season, there's going to be some kinks with all the new faces out there.
Yeah.
It's can Austin Mack operate when things are falling apart as well as Keelon Russell?
Right. Who's going to give you the best chance to win? Because everybody expects Alabama to win these first 5 games like it's nothing. And this isn't the Alabama program that's doing that anymore.
And when I say this, it's all relative. Austin Mack is, if you told me he was a starter, I'd feel good about it.
Yeah, right.
I think he's a great player, and I think it's just the different types of guys. I think Keelon Russell gives you a better opportunity if he's got to carry the team solely based on talent. I mean, and I could be wrong about that. I mean, Austin Mack may have that team wrapped around his finger from a leadership perspective, and he's going to find a way to push that team, even through the grittiest of games where, we're down 10 and we got to come back, and he gets everybody on the right page. I mean, if he's that far above Keelon from a leadership perspective, then there's just so many moving parts when it comes to football. You just never know, right? I mean, again, to me, when I was playing, I felt like the biggest thing you could do as a quarterback is when things are tough. I mean, you grind it out and you kind of set the tone to come back from those football games where it's just a grind. I mean, getting everybody's ass ready, fired up, on the line. Hey, we're getting this shit done, and you lead by example.
Right.
We played Ole Miss, man. I didn't start that game, and again, at that point, I didn't give a shit what happened. I was just, fired up and just wanted to take it all out on Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And those guys, they definitely saw a different side of me when that happened, and that kind of carried on throughout the season. But again, when that happened, it was kind of like, okay, all this bullshit's over with. Jake's playing.
Yeah. Get out of my way. Hey, let me tell you guys, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Got some great concerts coming up over there at Silver Star Convention Center. Drew Hill is going to be live in concert June 27th, so that's coming up, 8 p.m. There he is, Clint Black. We love him. July 3rd, 8 o'clock, Silver Star Convention Center, man. He's got so many great hits. Here's one you're going to want to go to, Coker, the Chi Whiz. That is July 4th. The Landing Pearl River Resort. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look at those guys. Look like they're having a great time. I need that American flag vest. Gabriel, Fluffy, Iglesias. Man, I love Fluff. Let's go. Saturday, August 15th, Silver Star. J1 and West Love are going to be there September 5th. And they've got other concerts that are coming as well. But it's a short drive from Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. You got the two casinos, Silver Star, Golden Moon. They got great slots, table games, awesome restaurants, Mom and Them's and Philip M. Steakhouse, the golf course, Dancing Rabbit. You don't have to have a membership to play there, but it's Augusta quality, best in Mississippi. Geyser Falls Water Park. You want to get out there and hit that lazy river, the kids or whatever. All of that right there at Pearl River Resort, and it is very affordable. So check it out. Jake, great to see you. Have an awesome weekend. And you guys like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, and enjoy Jake and the commercial. Which one do you want to watch? You want to watch Fat Mick, High Five? Hey, the best part of it was
you took my label. You took my label. I was just saying, let's watch Fat Mick today.
Let's watch Fat Mick. The best part of talking to Gary Valentine, he's losing some weight, and I told him about this commercial we're about to watch. He goes, "That's why I don't high five." Because I said, you remember this? I said a high five, then my gut fell out. And he said, "I low five. I'm a low fiver, but I'm not a high fiver just because of that." I got to go to the gym, people. See ya. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
On today's show, two legends call their own plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. They're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday.
These two still got game.
Come call your own plays
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be